Two things I want to make clear. We are doing two things today. We are passing an ordinance and a set of guidelines or rules.
What we're saying is we're actually reducing the space for people to be on the boardwalk. And what you're doing here today, if you pass this ordinance, you are going to be hurting some of the people at the bottom of the income level the most. Okay. And I find that in a day where jobs and people are hurting and people are being laid off is unconscionable for the city to do this to some of the least among us.
Up until the last 2 or 3 years, we've had really no problems down there. It's the last 4 or 5 years that the vending situation has gotten out of hand. What we have now are vendors arriving as early as 5 o'clock in the morning, fighting for space, waking up residents, including myself.
It's not fair to blame us because of the lack of enforcement on the public side of the boardwalk and make it look like it's out of control. People should not be over there selling sunglasses. People should not be over there selling sandals. People should not be over there selling backpacks. The merchants should not be bringing their merchandise over to do it.
We have a number of problems out there with fighting over space, extortion money to reserve spaces.
These people are not getting a voice, and we need to wait until we get an elected city council person that represents Venice. This is... Ruth Galanther fought for the boardwalk.
Just think of it, 250 people are sitting there on the west side of the boardwalk, making a living. That is an underground economy, and nothing is being done about it. We are not here to stop the artists or the entertainers, but we are here to stop the vending of purchased merchandise. And there is no reason in the world for us to play any games about it. It's big business over there.
When we look at it from a different standpoint, we realize that this community is in fact kind of under siege already, and that Venice is also part of that siege. The abrogation of freedom of speech and freedom of expression through regulation is an old tactic. It is one in which we as a community cannot continue to put up with.
This issue about the boardwalk ordinance is not about free speech. It's about real estate, who controls it and who is profiting from it. Free speech should be free for all, not just a select few who are willing to bully and intimidate the competition into submission.
You are about to fire an elephant gun at a rabbit. You may find that there is nothing attractive left after your actions. Hold a summit, negotiate, mediate, do not regulate.
Okay, let's open the roll. Close the roll and tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
That is approved, as amended.
Venice Beach is the boardwalk. It's 120 inches from east to west, a little over a mile. It is really the only world free expression place where people can come out and express themselves, from entertainers to various forms of art and free speech. It is important that we protect this one space in the world. It really belongs to the world, not to LA, not to California or the United States. This belongs to the world. and it must be as unregulated as possible. We all really get along pretty well.
Spaces for vendors along the Venice Beach Boardwalk.
So there is a new ordinance, a new city law.
Artists and entertainers who play to hundreds of thousands.
Permits before doing business on the famed boardwalk.
It's one of the last bastions of free speech, and to regulate that is against our constitutional rights.
I don't know. I'd ask a lot of people their opinions before I made any kind of changes here. I'd ask everybody what they want, what's their needs, and I do a big survey like the companies do for like safety belt stuff, you know?
I don't even think they really know what they want. I think they have an ideal of what they think is going to be better. But I think Venice Beach is the second most popular tourist spot in the world, and it's because of stuff like this. It's because of you can get the arts and craftsy stuff. You could see real folks doing real things and not big business doing what they always do. You know what I'm saying? You talk about, you know, build up to break down to build up again. They really don't even know what they're trying to do, in my opinion. I think this is like the spirit and the life of Venice Beach. I think this is why it's the second most, you know, popular tourist spot in the world. You know, and you take this away, and I think it won't be instantly. I think it'll have instant gratification, but I think it'll depreciate the integrity of what this beach really stands for, and that's freedom.
Those people on the top who don't understand the principle of live and let live that the country was founded on. It's you let other people do what they want in order to have productivity. You have to let people have their natural opportunity. You don't squeeze and restrict it, and that's the way. That's the reason the United States in real terms is declining by 0.5% a year, whereas India and China are growing by 2% and 4%.
Oppressed people, by the nature of their oppression, don't have an optimistic look on things. And there's a lot of oppression and darkness here in Venice. So for that perspective, those people probably have a very grim perspective of what Venice is going to be in the next 25 years. For the rich and the avarice, of course they're looking at Venice because it is the #1 location to come to in the country in regards to its international mix of visitors that come here. I think what the rich fail to see is the fact that many of the have-nots are the real heartbeats of Venice and what make Venice the unique place that it is.
Jimmy Lee, man, Chinatown, San Francisco, man, I play the blues guitar. You know, that kind of stuff. Just out here trying to make a living out here on the world-famous Venice Beach Boardwalk. But I see we got some high-end real estate developer power brokers down here who estimated Playa del Rey, Venice Beach, Santa Monica Beach, and they assessed it. And what they want to do is instill this police-based lottery system to scale back the artists, dancers, poets, and musicians and psychics out here.
They're trying to take our spirits away. They're just trying to make it. They're trying to make us go away, and we don't want to go away because without us, Venice would not be here. People would stop coming here.
That's the first punch, first knockout punch. Scale back, everybody. Then they're going to start construction right back there behind you. You see behind you? They already started construction. They dug that pit. They got down to groundwater level. And from there, they're going to put up some upscale Starbucks and maybe even a strip mall, that kind of stuff up here. You just seen the tip of the iceberg right now. But you look in the future, like about 5 years from now, you see this is all going to be like regular strip mall. It's not going to be the bohemian atmosphere. You see people come from all over the world to see the world-famous Venice Beach Boardwalk with its dancers, artists, poets, musicians, and psychics, and the bohemian atmosphere because it's one of a kind. It's unique out here.
It's a very special place where people's spirits come up, where they see interesting people, or where people kind of have a straight life and they can come here and show their other side and be artistic and bring out their spirits.
Oh my God.
Don't miss it. I'm gonna tear this up, so don't miss it.
What makes Venice Beach so unique?
people.
Yeah, and I think also the creativity here.
And like I think that you can find a lot of things in this area like that you couldn't find like in the valley. You know, there's a lot of different.
It's eclectic.
Yeah.
Look at these Marines.
We're also going to give you an application so you can start filling out the application. And I'm trying to explain to you. A lot of people yelling out here, and I'm not sure that every single person is here to yell out. I think some people may want to hear this information who would like to be able to get their permits, who would like to be able to...
Some of the vendors became unruly, and just for the safety of the persons who were here trying to facilitate the meeting, we had to call the meeting.
So no decision was made tonight on it?
This wasn't a decision-making meeting. This was a meeting in which the council was going to attempt to inform the persons who were going to participate in the vending ordinance some of the laws and some of the regulations how we're going to police it.
So you see like they're screaming and yelling and bickering behind me. Are you used to that?
You can't, no matter what you do, you cannot stop it. This is bigger than everything you could imagine. What it is, we're a part of this energy that's going to get rid of this monster.
Are you used to that?
Absolutely.
Like you're not reacting to it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, name.
My name is Cecil McGee.
M-C-G-E-E?
Yes, sir.
All right.
And the other aspect of a proposed lotto, which is absurd, if the point of this is to make order on the boardwalk, this undermines any sense of order. If there are people that are in certain places and have been for numbers of years, and all of a sudden now there's a chance that you may or may not be on there, that is chaotic and very disruptive, number one. Number two, if I have a jewelry store on the paying side of the beach, and let's say this guy over here sells jewelry and his number comes up and his space is in front of a jewelry store, you're creating more chaos and you're creating order. Absolutely. So in that respect, it doesn't make any sense.
Hold on, everybody. First of all, I just want to say what might be viewed as disrespectful to some is viewed by just about all of us as wonderful dedication to save Venice Beach.
That's right.
You did the right thing. You did the honorable thing. Abbott Kinney, the founder of Venice, is smiling in his grave right now.
That's right.
We are honorable people. We want win-win solutions. They never listen to us.
Yep.
They want to destroy the free spirit of Venice. We are peaceful people, but we are passionate when it comes to supporting the free spirit of Venice Beach.
There's not that many places where you can go take a break from the billboards, from the television commercials, from the political campaign ads, from everybody telling you what to think. There's just no space in people's minds to develop their own ideas anymore because there's so many people telling them what to think. Venice to me, and maybe it sounds a little sappy, but Venice to me has always been a place where you are allowed to develop your own ideas, to develop your own personality, you know, whether it's the way you dress or whether it's whatever you do. You're painting, you're playing music, you know, you're the guy with the shopping cart and the bass, you know. That's important. That's important. If for no other reason, then it's different. And if we lose that, we lose something really important, and we lose a lot, and we might not ever get it back.
So what's going on today? What's the whole protest about?
You can see it's the beginning of a big wave that's coming to the rec and parks in the city to tell them that we're not going to go down like lemmings. You know, we're not going to be pushed over the cliff, and that we're going to fight this and battle this. And what I said, we are the ones who are, you know, legal on the boardwalk. So I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about the ones here that have a right to be here. We're going to battle this, because in the end, it's gonna some yes and some no. It's just the way it is.
And in your opinion, who has the right to be here?
Legitimate free speech and anything under that possible, but there's gray areas, so it's all very technical. I think the march is real positive, you know, but in the end, the real thing will happen in court. That's really what it's all about. Court, federal judges deciding whether or not, you know, we're going to be able to remain almost as it was before, you know. And in my 30 years, I've been in many battles, and this is another one, but it's a bigger one.
There hasn't really been a consistency of the rules. The rules are constantly changing. They're not changing for the better, they're changing for the worse. They change to benefit the confusion, you know, not for us, not for the artists, you know. So it's very questionable, and there's arguments from both sides. I think what it set out to do, it's doing very well. They had a strategic plan to have us fuss and fight with one another. Some people are in the lotto, some are not.
If you're going to restrict people from doing this, well, who gets to say what art is? At one point, the police were saying what art was. Can you believe that?
What needs to be done is they need to set up a committee that decides what art is on the boardwalk, even if they just define it for the boardwalk, and get the people who are buying stuff from downtown LA and bringing it to the boardwalk and selling it for $30 when they paid 99 cents for it downtown. Get them off the boardwalk and put the artists back here.
Because I grew up as a vendor. That was I came out here with Nelson Mandela t-shirts right here in like 1990 or whatever. And I was selling them, but it was stuff I created, pictures and symbols, things that I believed in. Now America should provide a place, period. It should be even beyond Venice. You see what I'm saying? If people shouldn't be out here hungry or trying to scrape up money, not in the richest country in the world.
What the lottery system does is it causes confusion, and in confusion there is profit. So there is someone who's manipulating a lot of people down here on the boardwalk, causing confusion, causing frustration, and profiting off of that confusion and frustration.
The only lottery I want is Mega and the Super Lotto. As a matter of fact, I want to win. They have like 260 million. Oh Lord, let me win this 260 million. Then I'll come up with the solution.
Every individual creative person out here has a God-blessed talent. And that's what makes Venice Venice. It was in Abercrombie's plan that Venice be this eclectic artistic community. And so if those that are in financial control fail to realize how valuable the West Siders are, so to speak, then they're gonna, again, like I said, the East Siders are going to suffer. Because if we like I said the other day, in front of the Sidewalk Cafe, I said, if everybody on the West Side got together and boycotted, went somewhere else, it would shut this place down.
I just don't know, and stand close to the door, looking deeper in you.
There are ulterior motives, you know. That move is always predicated upon greed, upon we want to take what these people have. So let's talk about, you know, let's give real examples of fights. Let's point out the problems. Our solution to that will be to move in and take what they have. That's the way this has worked historically.
What they are trying to do is part of a bigger plan to milk every dollar of profit out of Venice for the developers. To gentrify this area, to raise the prices, raise the rents, so they can raise the profits, not of the people that live here, not for the enjoyment of the people that come here, but so they can turn this parking lot and the next one and tear down the old buildings and build big new high-rises and turn this into a high-class ghetto. They want to, what they consider, control the west side of the boardwalk, control the free speech area. But they are killing the goose that laid the golden egg by doing this. They're destroying it. As you can see now, the vendors aren't here, the people aren't here, no one is happy. I don't even think at this point the developers are happy. I don't believe the police are happy to enforce this. But this is what it has come to. And it is driven by profit, the same thing that drives our war in Iraq, the same thing that drives, unfortunately, our government at the highest levels, and I'm sad to say, even at the city levels.
Public free speech should be franchised around the country, at least one place in each state, if not several places.
I'm looking at the First Amendment and the artists unionizing and self-policing. And I think it would be a brilliant way to kind of like refine the issues here, because it's really about the First Amendment. It's about artists. It's about the free flow of ideas, because you can't have a lottery. You gotta let the guy from Germany play his drums, man. You gotta let the poet from Yugoslavia spout his views. And you gotta let the dancer from Romania, you know, I mean, I want to see Venice always be a place for people from all over the world. And a lottery just can't do it, you know what I mean? And that's when I think the community will rise up. And they're gonna say, fuck this lottery, it ain't gonna happen. The lawyers will be somewhere behind them probably. And eventually this will get sorted out. But I realize that all it needs to be done is the artists and the free speechers need to unionize.
How do you feel about the lottery?
About the lottery? It's unfair. It's basically illegal. No, it's the city is just taking advantage of the people.
I've been coming out here since I was 14. I'm 19 right now. And now that it's like this, it's like, well, what's the point of even coming down here anymore?
Mess with the people that are causing you the problems. Don't mess with all of us who are not. I've been here since 1979 with no problems. My name is Starla. I've sung, I've done art, I've done massage, I've had an incense stand, and I've just doing what I do now.
The most important thing to recognize about this division is that that division is activated on purpose and by design by the lottery system. You know, if there was a plan to move the artists off of the boardwalk, there wouldn't be a more strategic way of doing that than by initiating this system and in effect dividing people like this.
How much merchandise so much room to display what you have. They take that away.
What this does, and what it's set up by design to do, is make them yell at each other. I don't have a permit, you do, you're making money, I'm mad.
Argue with it. You can't argue with it. You can't argue with it. You can't argue with it because I got
666 is the thing. 666. That's your number.
Everybody sign up so you can have freedom to speak. Stand in line. Buy your rights. Stand up. Your rights for freedom of speech are for sale. 25 right here, right now. Sign up now. Sign up.
As soon as authorities move in and start telling people you don't have the ability to govern yourself, there's a loss of hope.
You know, we're still here, we're still competing with the vendors, you know. The vendors, they have a card too, so we're competing with them in the lottery. So that's ridiculous. It's not supposed to be that way. And it's slower than skunk shit. So let's speed up the process. Have a little respect.
I have a guy that's selling soap screaming about what's right, a guy that sells incense screaming about what's right. Then I have our former representative comparing himself to Moses. And we wonder why we're in this predicament to begin with. Then we have people who are walking around with spiritual signs saying that they're going to boycott the other artists, which I think is not very kind, which aroused an argument.
The fact that this is an old strategy, the fact that, you know, if you have people who are struggling, you know, the people that don't have permits are obviously perhaps struggling more than the people that do have permits. They don't have the option of yelling at a council person on a day-to-day basis. They don't have the option of yelling at the mayor. They don't have the option of just getting in their car and driving down to City Hall, yelling at somebody. They can yell at the police if they want to. That doesn't generally turn out too good, and I haven't seen that very often.
This is all for the developers. It's all about money. Cha-ching, cha-ching. You should be standing with us. You should be protecting this as a free forum. You're standing with the developers right now. Think about it.
Can't we all get along?
I said this at the city council meeting, I said this at the Department of Parks and Rec meeting. Instead of having this very, very complicated and tiring system, and a system which many people feel is both unfair and tedious and leaves a lot of people out, because this whole thing began with problems, according to the authorities of public safety, and because the root cause of this is a scarcity of space on the boardwalk, what they could have done was one simple thing, what they could have done was just have a general rule that everyone would have understood, all the vendors, the police, the authorities, the Department of Parks and Rec, to limit everyone's space to a certain fixed amount, whether that was 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet. That would have eliminated the people who are taking 60 feet and 80 feet and depriving a lot of people of necessary space. It would have opened up the boardwalk to a lot more people.
The kowtow to their system, and you know, it's not a better one. It's supposed to be a better one. Kumra's here. Kumra's here, selling his stuff. He got a 20-foot space last time.
What does he sell?
Knickknacks.
Why are they giving permits to people that sell commercial items? So I know for a fact there's 3 people that have commercial items and that's all they sell, and they're so excited because they got permits. And now I'm like, I'm not participating in something that is supposed to be for the artist, and they say that, And then they're giving licenses to people that sell commercial stuff. They're not supposed to do that.
Not happy about it. Somebody had to give me the money to buy the permit.
Okay.
Venice has been free. I've been doing this 6.5 years. It's always been free. It's always been something that I could rely on because of my disabilities, that if I needed to make some extra money to make ends meet. And now I can't rely on it.
I'll go either way. If we're going to have a permit, that's fine. But stick with the truth. Stick with the laws of the permit. They're not sticking with the laws of the permit. I supported the permit. I said, fine, whatever you have to do, just let me do whatever I have to do. Let me get my permit. Let me do this. But they're not sticking with the laws of the permit. They are already allowing people that sell commercial items permits. How can I participate in something that already isn't right? So I will fully help them for the next 2 weeks, whether they want it or not, and I will tell them, and I will find out first on my own. And I will participate in this thing if there are no commercial vendors down in Venice Beach on that side of the boardwalk that have to be approved under Section Code 4215 for handmade items. I will only get on that boardwalk with those people. I will not get on the boardwalk with people selling commercial items.
It's making me feel really question whether I really want to be a part of all of it anymore. I feel like it's losing its spirit altogether today. It's a sad day. It is. It's a very sad day. I'm very disappointed about the whole thing.
Represented. I'm not represented. You don't feel like you're represented. Many people that signed the permit felt coerced and harassed. Under duress, they signed that permit. I am not mad at my brothers that signed up for the lottery. They don't know any better. They don't read. They're not in the trenches like I am. I know what's going on, and I have nothing to fear. This has been here for 35, 40 years like this. So it's deeper than what we're going through. So we got to fight this. This is a battle. The war is going to be long, long, long fight.
Spaces for vendors along the Venice Beach Boardwalk went into effect today. The new system was greeted with protests.
All right, Victor, how do you guys plan on enforcing this thing, man?
Mike, wait, is that another assault, sir?
We're just following the rules. We're just asking people to comply. If they don't comply, we ask them if they want to comply. So that's basically up to the individual if they wish to comply or not. If they don't comply, we give them an in-house notice of violation. That's what it is. It's an in-house notice of violation.
You gonna ticket me? No. I'm trying to sell this.
It's not a ticket, sir. It's just a notice of violation. We don't issue tickets.
Okay.
It's just an in-house administrative. It's just an in-house administrative. We're the administrative part of this ordinance, meaning we have to keep official records as to for permits and things of that sort.
Are you the parks department?
Yes, we are.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
So did you get a violation?
Our job is to give a notice of violation to the individual.
We allow people to, we allow Jewish people to get permits.
Not on Saturday.
Yeah, you can come on Monday, Tuesday, Monday.
We ask them again if they want to participate. If they don't, we can give them a little notice and then they're in violation of the current ordinance that's out here.
For the person who actually paid the $25 that has the permit to be there, will they lose the spot for that day, or is the person who...
Well, that's something that we'll have to address.
So what do I have to do with this thing now?
Well, it's not. It's for your records and it's for our records.
Yeah.
Okay, like I said, it's an in-house administrative record. That's all it is. We don't give out tickets. This is an administrative record. So let's say in the future, Mr. Schultz, you decide to take out a permit.
Yeah.
And we go and we find this and we say, well, Mr. Schultz, you at one point had violated whatever section. So
then I'm bad?
No, sir. It's not meaning that you're bad. It's just in-house records that we have.
I'm telling you, as a Jew, I'm not allowed to go to your lottery.
Okay.
It's on my Sabbath, and it's against your religion to,
What, on here, Freddie?
It's against your religion to gamble for a living.
You're human beings. You have your inalienable rights, which God-given rights is more than their rights. This is a bunch of bullshit, and they know it.
You do not wish to take part in the lotto or permit system, sir?
It's against my religion.
One of those 24 extra spots.
If you did not get in the lottery.
Right. And those spots may not be
What about the Muslims, the Christians, the Hindus, the Rastafari? What about the people who don't even believe in God?
It's unfair and unjust.
Yeah. Your lottery system is nothing but a bunch of crap. Take it back and throw it in the garbage. It doesn't work. Stop wasting people's time. Stop wasting time. Nobody's gonna listen to your stupid shit. We're not children. Take it back. Take it back and try to live with it yourself.
It has now hit the Pacific Coast, and the world's largest display of free expression in the world on the Venice Boardwalk is now being transformed and cut up and lobotomized into a non-free speech, free expression place unless you follow rules that have been handed down because of one particular developer who got together a lot of people to lie and twist the information and sell Mayor Hahn disinformation so that it was passed. And we basically are cut up and shut down. And you will never see, until something changes, a real free Venice boardwalk.
The million-dollar question is this: why are the folks who have something that could be considered mass-produced products or commercial goods being allowed to have permits to be here?
That's not commercial goods. It's no longer going to be allowed out here as of starting today. Now that was the case for the last 20 plus years, as you know, and everybody else that's been out here. But starting today with this new regulation, commercial goods will now be allowed, and we'll have to take case by case on the individuals that are out here.
What's up?
My name's Lil. What's up? Welcome to my life.
It's just a life on the beach.
This is Venice Beach, and you can go to myspace.com/visualgourmet to see a glimpse of me before I was homeless. How did I get here? It's called I was robbed because I had to go pee and change my tampon. Look, the color of blood, red. Woo, party over here. It's my house, homeless. Who cares? I care. Guess what? I care about everyone because I'm a care bear, and caring is sharing. Nice to meet you.
There hasn't been much creativity for months, and there has been a department store feeling here. A lot of commercial items have shown up on the beach that were never there before.
Even the tourists are like, what happened to this place? It's not spontaneous anymore. I have a lot of people asking me, what is all this commercial stuff doing down here? And I tell them, well, that's what the lottery was supposed to handle. But they have done nothing about any of the commercial stuff that's for sale on the boardwalk. Nothing.
But man, they haven't done anything yet, dude. You know, they came out here, I saw one cop out here once 3 weeks ago trying to get rid of telling people, like, there's a girl selling scarves. Yeah, that's wrong, totally. Get rid of that. But
God on it.
But man, you know, if it's art, let it be art. And you know, let them have someone come out here and judge what is and what isn't art. You know, that would be right.
It's chaos, man. They've made it more chaotic.
This lottery is horrible. I see people giving 5 and 6 lottery stickers for their people here. It's become more racist since this lottery system came into play. I see cheap, imitation-made sweatshop clothes out there. I see stupid little beads and stuff like that. And first of all, there is no law that they're enforcing. enforcing. There is an active law that says no commercial vending. Right now, that's all they need to do is enforce the law. Psychics, doing art, communication about your feelings about the law, about the way things are, all this stuff are relevant here on Venice Beach. We brought Venice Beach back from destruction.
What needs to be done is they need to set up a committee that decides what art is on the boardwalk. Even if they just define it for the boardwalk, and get the people who are buying stuff from downtown LA and bringing it to the boardwalk and selling it for $30 when they paid 99 cents for it downtown, get them off the boardwalk and put the artists back here.
I didn't get lotteried for the last 2 weeks, and that's been kind of rough. The system's got a lot of holes. A lot of people aren't happy, but it's been rough this month because I didn't get lotteried. I couldn't come down. I didn't want to get a ticket. I didn't want to steal anybody else's space. Although there's tons of spaces up and down that aren't occupied, but somehow all the spaces are taken. I don't know what's up with all of that.
Yesterday, 127 spaces where no one was there. The day before, 94, 100, 113, 129. The weekend, 43. The Saturday, 50. Friday, 78, and also again 100. So you can see all these spaces are empty. All the people who got the tickets. Bill, Jerry Rubin, yeah, Michael, me, Jingles, Alejandra, Tony, Vaughn, El Hata, Dr. John, and Barbara. All First Amendment. All of them. First Amendment that got the tickets. Every last one. Not one person that sells material, commercial stuff have received the tickets yet.
I think everybody governed themselves way better before the system was put into place. You know, people had their like communities of people that they set up with.
Why hassle me for it, man? Just let me do my thing, you know? I'm not like fucking selling crack out here.
How you feel about the lottery now? I mean,
you know what? I'm so sick of this shit. You know what they should do? Charge these motherfuckers $25 a week. That's like $4 a day. Charge everybody out here $25 a week. They ain't paying shit to the city. This is all free money anyway. If you can't make $4 a day, that way the city will be happy. They'll be getting revenue from it. They'll take care of our space. They'll be working for us. They'll take care of us. Anything you want on a shirt. 5 minutes. If anybody can do it, you know I can. I'm the last man standing with the spray paint can. Now motherfuckers from the other side, commercial shit, all these motherfuckers selling this bullshit is out here. So real artists who are doing art from the heart can't even make no money because we're getting crowded out by other motherfuckers. The new law should be everybody who has a space pay $25 a week. And that would be high. And if you can't pay that, then you are whack. Go try to do a festival. Go try to do the African marketplace. See how much your ass gonna pay. Right. $500 for a weekend.
Here we go.
I mean, what's up? I mean, they're targeting incense and oils or whatever, and they done give you a permit to tell you can do what you want to do. I mean, what's your attitude on it? What's your take on it?
Right? These are body oils. We got them incense that we make.
Right, it is handmade.
You know, all it is. Even though like this a company made, that's somebody that made it. So no matter what they say, ain't nothing commercial or nothing like that, but they just trying to get rid of people.
Yeah, I'm aware of all the commercial things that are out here. I go shopping on Melrose. I buy jewelry, and I see the exact same thing here.
Right, exactly. But you know what? It's this bad.
Any change, Coach? Coach, did you pay any change? You're saying he has a permit?
He has a permit, and he's standing in his 4 squares going, give me some change. Can I get some change?
All I can say is, again, we've got the suggestion box, and in June everything's going to be
I've put suggestions in. I don't see anything from that.
That information is going to go into the evaluation process.
Which is going to start when? You guys are just filled with runarounds, man. Nobody has any answers.
There needs to be enforcement of 42-15.
This has to be done. It was, or there is always going to be gray area no matter what revision or whatever, and judges will have to work it out. But you can't just put a Jewish star or crucifix or anything on anything and make it First Amendment, just like you can't write no nukes on a refrigerator and sell it, or to come out and paint something on a refrigerator and make it look like it's art. It just isn't going to happen.
I know that somebody had said that, you know, if there's a sticker on the bottom, but everybody has their reasons for what they're selling. And if you have a scarf that has a little sticker on it that says God, who are the police to say that this is a religious item or this is not? Just because it has a sticker on it, we're not the people that can say that. So something needs to be black and white. You can't have any grayness in any sort of law, and that's what happened. And that's why this whole thing went away. And until it gets rewritten, there isn't going to be any enforcement.
Oh, well, here we go again. Oh, what are you going to give me for them?
Did you catch anything today?
I actually did. I did all right. Not too bad.
What's biting out there?
Quarters and nickels and dimes.
These guys over here that are paying a whole chunk of thousands of dollars, thousands. Do you hear me, you people? That's right, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000. They could walk right on this other side over here for a whole 25 bucks, free license, and set up here. And this is just crazy. This is crazy.
Can they sell the same stuff?
They can sell the same stuff. The same darn stuff. That's right. That's right. You can do anything you want. That's right.
Can you sell anything you want on the side?
Anything you got that way. You know what? If I was in the business and I had Frigidaires, I'd come down here and get, excuse me, and I get a truck of Frigidaires and stoves like Kenmore and Sears, and I just lay them all the way down this boardwalk. You see that? Camera, come over here. Look, all the way down. Fridges and stoves and fridges and stoves. And I'd put sales on $3.99, $2.99, $4.99. I'd be selling fridges and stoves all day up and down here. It's incredible what you can do out here.
Would you agree that this whole problem was created by the lottery? Considering
I think
anyone,
the lottery's a bunch of crap.
It is. It is.
Totally
No, hold on. Let me
having order.
check this out. Now that there's been some sort of regulation as to how much space one can take up, stick with that. Get rid of all commercial vending, including the lottery system, so that people cannot go get a permit to sell whatever they want, because we're all being misrepresented. Furthermore, while we're sitting here, check this out. While we're sitting here dumbfounded, like, wow, what happened to the boardwalk? No one's listening to us. I personally think they're listening to the developers, because I see lofts going out. I see merchants going out of business. I see artists disappearing. So what's really going on?
Maybe they do want small businesses to go out of business. You know, maybe they do want to attract big names who will pay very high rent. I don't know what they want. I remember the old days when we actually had mostly entertainers, stand-up comedy, we had people doing tricks, we had musicians, we had artists, and that was the spirit of Venice Beach. Now it's a big flea market for everybody. It's just, you know, I want to make a buck, let me go to Venice Beach. You know, and it's not being enforced, so why are we paying taxes? Why is the city making us pay taxes when you can choose not to pay taxes and go on the other side also and not pay rent?
They are moving so slowly that the frustration is mounting. And the situation out there on the boardwalk is getting to be worse and worse and worse every day. It's a catastrophe. Venice Beach, the spirit of Venice Beach is being killed. Right now, merchants are going out of business and artists are in trouble.
I agree.
Okay.
We need it fast.
So,
we need it now. I've been the one screaming.
What happens in a democracy is when people are not being served, their needs are not being served, they stand up and they speak out. Now that's what we've been doing. But it hasn't been enough, because the process is moving so slowly, we're continually getting more frustrated. So I'm saying this group, because it's not going to be the neighborhood council, because they're going to meet tomorrow night, then they're not going to meet for another month. this group has to step up the pressure. This group has to be unified in what we want, and we have to go to Bill Rosenthal's office, if that's what it takes, en masse, go to the city council meetings en masse, and declare what it is that we want to see on Venice Beach. Otherwise, we're sitting back and we're allowing the process to continue, and who knows what the ordinance is going to say. Because there are issues about that draft that we are in disagreement with.
Right.
Big time disagreement with.
Right.
And if that ordinance comes out, I can guarantee you that there's going to be lawsuits. And one of them sitting right here waiting to happen, and more sitting right here waiting to happen. There will be lawsuits.
Gita made a false statement saying that the screening process is unconstitutional, which means that the people out there on the weekend who are selling cigarettes are allowed to be out there.
No, that isn't what she said.
Oh, no. No, you're not going to get that past me. That's what you told me. It's unconstitutional.
Good point, Jingles.
Before they get a
Good point, Jingles.
Afterwards, they can.
You're not going to get that one past me. She said a screening is unconstitutional, which means that if someone, now that the lottery is still in place, even though it's falling apart, which means I can legally sell cigarettes out there, I can sell Toyota cars and motorcycles. So the city is breaking its own law. No, they have to be sued because they are breaking the law and they are creating the horror, and that's what the whole entire lottery did with the help of the city and Recreation Park. They created this monster.
We want to address those issues, and we want to make sure that our perspectives are being taken into account. And some of us feel that they're not being heard, or if they are being heard, they're just saying, well, we can't, that's not going to happen because we're going to do it this way because we're afraid of a lawsuit. The reason why this chaos has taken place is because the city has gone illegal on what was already illegal. What was illegal was commercial vending. What was illegal was the lottery. They imposed the lottery. Now they've taken away the sections of the ordinance which originally were contested by a lawsuit which said this is a violation of first right amendments. And now they've only made it worse.